Today I want to talk about the Pittsburgh Pro quarter drive torque wrench. I just got this one on special, and that's why I got it. They had a sale for $9.99, but I think that's the regular price. I can't remember. Anyways, I just happened to be there, so I decided to pick this up. And of course, the first thing I forgot to do was to check where this one's made. And as you can see here, this one is actually made in China. So it's not the Taiwan version. This is a 3/8 Taiwan version. So we'll take a look at this. And it doesn't even tell you how many teeth the actual gear is. But the range is from 20 to 200 pounds. And so we're going to take a look at it. I haven't tested it, obviously, but I just want to show you what you get in terms of the it's actually shrink wrap. I already took that off since I already took it out, and as you can see, the case is very similar to the larger one. It's a little more dull, or this one's a little more shiny. Other than that, it's fairly similar, I think. And that's just the case. It's always nice that they have these cases on here. So it comes in the bag here, and this is what you get. The manual that you can always download from there, and a certificate of calibration, but doesn't actually show you anything. So here is the actual quarter inch or a quarter size torque wrench. And the reason I'm doing the video is not just to show you this, but I couldn't find too many videos on this smaller models. I don't need one right at the moment, but there have been some smaller bolts that I would have been nice to have a smaller torque wrench for, just due to the spaces or space available for me to put my hand in there. So let's take a look at this here. This is actually in centimeters KPS. I don't think I've seen that. So that's centimeters kilo. Somebody correct me on that on the bottom, but it's centimeter. I'm having a hard time reading it here. KGS, and the top one is KPS. Yeah, I haven't seen that. It's NM usually, but on the other side you have inch pounds, and it goes from 20 to 200, as I've said. So far, I prefer this type because I'm just used to it, and not that the spring type that you have to hold it, and this one you just loosen it up, as most of you probably know. And so far it's been good. I mean, tightens up, but I'm used to it. So you just gotta keep doing it just to make sure it doesn't get tight on the bottom there. But as you can see, the wrench is pretty smooth so far. I haven't had any binding or anything. That's as far as it goes. It goes way beyond the numbers there. So that's fine, just like the other one. Just turn it there to the low one and just tighten it there. So the one thing I want to point out, just like on the larger one here, the 3/8, if you look at the heads on the bottom here, they look pretty similar, or not the greatest. But interestingly enough, the Chinese version here, the finish looks a lot nicer than the Taiwanese version here. It's actually, the edge is rounder, and this one's kind of sharp. Just something to note. And it uses a regular Phillips screws for the back cover screws. And on the top you don't see any difference, as you can see there. But when you get to the bottom, you can see the difference in here. There's a little clip here, and this one actually says Taiwan on it. Let me see if the camera can get that. This one doesn't say anything. The other thing I noticed is the screws for the cover here, they stick out. Let me see if I can get the camera to show you that. And these are pretty much flush in, so that's kind of weird that it's like that. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but usually they're all flush, so that's just probably a quality QC thing there. What else did I want to cover? As far as the actual clicking, let me show you. I'm not even doing anything, but it does click a little bit one way than the other, so let me loosen it up. It was clicking better yesterday, so let me put it up a little bit on something. Doesn't matter what. Let me see here if it'll click better when I hit it. Well, it's not clicking now, but it does click when it's all the way to the bottom here. So I just wanted to kind of let you hear that. There we go. There we go. I know this is not the correct way of doing it, but I just don't have anything to show you, but it does click that way. It's a little less on this side, so can't tell you what's what other than that. Let me see if I put it up again a little bit. So again, let me click. Nope, doesn't click there, so obviously that should work. Until I get a chance to test it, I can't really say anything more than it's very similar to the Taiwan made, actually, except for the numbers. Actually, the Taiwan is very light. I even tried painting it, and even though I painted it and I tried taking it off, it still comes off of the numbers, so it's very hard to read the numbers on this one. This one's a little deeper, so I might try to paint these. The one thing I did notice on mine here, where is it? On the metric side, it's got this huge scratch all the way down from the top to the bottom here, which is a bit annoying because it goes right onto the numbers, or just barely on them. So I'll probably take this back and see if they have the other ones from Taiwan, just to see what else they got. But I think they're all the same from what I remember. They're all shrink wrap. Let me see that's what that sounds like. And also I noticed that there was a little bit of oil on here, so it looks like it's lubricated. But you know what? Since I'm on it, let's take it. Let's open it up. Let me see if I can find my tool here. This is a Torx. Okay, I don't have it on hand, so I'm gonna have to wait on that. But yeah, it had some oil here too, so I'm pretty sure it's lubricated. But it feels fine. Other than, you know, until I get to test it, it's kind of hard to know. But I was trying to figure out if I can get a similar number from the big one so that I could compare them, but couldn't quite get the right number. So anyways, this is what you get, and here is the lock on lock. So aside from not being able to read the numbers so well, you know, that's the only gripe, I guess. And whether it works or not, the first thing I like to do when it says China on it, I like to look for the defects. You know, they usually have a lot of defects. For example, the head might be a little too wide on this side versus this side when you look at it. This one seems fairly okay. I can't really tell too much of a difference. It might be a little bit thicker on that side, but you know, that's just a machining issue there. But overall, it seems okay. For something that, you know, I will use once in a blue moon, for $10, it seems to be more than enough if it works out. But that's the difference between these two, the Taiwanese made and the China made. I can't really say any more about that. I don't have the half. I have a different half that I use. I think it's a Craftsman, so I'm not even gonna bother taking it out. But there you go. That's the quarter size torque wrench. And I wanted to get one of these for a while, but just haven't gotten around to it. So I stopped by Harbor Freight, got a few things, and I thought I'd make a video on the quarter size because I just haven't seen too many of these. So maybe they'll have a digital version coming out. I don't know. That'd be kind of neat, interesting to see. But can't really beat it for the price. So hopefully it won't be something I would be breaking bolts with. But that's it.